Good evening and welcome back to Etown News. I'm Rosina Campana.
And I'm Aaron J. Girvan. Women's flag football, Mars snacking lecture series, and more coming up after this.
Whether you're on the go or taking a break, the Etownian has you covered. Pick up a paper on campus or read online at etownian.com.
Another exciting speaker is visiting campus to take part in the popular Mars Snacking Lecture Series. Real estate executive Paul Fulmer will educate students in the ins and outs of a successful career in real estate. Fulmer brings over 30 years of experience in property strategy and development. He is widely recognized as an influential real estate specialist. His lecture will take place today at 11 p.m. in Hoover 212.
A new sport is coming to Etown. Women's flag football will be the 25th varsity sport beginning in the spring of 2028. Flag football is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. It's even being added to next summer's Olympics. Almost 100 colleges and universities plan to add a team over the next 2 years. Games will be played 7-on-7 with 4 12-minute quarters. Teams have 4 downs to advance the ball, 20 for a first down. If you're interested in joining the team, you can fill out the recruitment questionnaire on Elizabethtown College's website.
The 5th Annual Social Justice Fair features a full day of connection and learning about Etown's core values of peace and social justice. The event will take place next Friday in the Bauer Center from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be a resource fair from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by a mini conference workshops from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The day will end with an hour-long community circle discussion. Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Human Resources Commission, Chad Dion Lassiter, will be this year's keynote speaker. Students are encouraged to wear shades of blue and green to honor the milestone year.
Some bad news for Blue Jays. The final part of the Wear Lecture series has been canceled. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie will not be able to speak at Etown due to unforeseen circumstances. Adichie is a New York Times best-selling author known for her novels, essays, and short stories. She's also a gender rights activist, which is prevalent in her work. Her lecture was going to be a reflection on resilience, individuality, and equality. The college said they hope to host her for a future lecture. Now here's Ava Deeter with your weekly sports update.
Thanks, Lexi. All spring sports are officially underway at Etown as the new season begins. But even though the sun is back out, there's still some winter sports still in play. 2 Elizabethtown wrestlers will compete in the NCAA Division III National Championships this weekend. Gannon Smith took first place in the 185-pound weight class at regionals after pinning all 4 of his opponents. He'll look to improve on his 4th-place finish from last year at nationals. Justice Hockenberry also qualified by placing second in the 164-pound weight class. He fell in the first-place match to Keegan Demaris of Messiah 16-3. The championships are already underway and run through tomorrow evening. The baseball and softball teams spent their spring breaks in Florida, each competing in 8 games. The baseball team won 6-2 on the trip, finishing with a big win 12-3 against Kenyon. A.J. Lipscomb had 2 runs, an RBI, and a double, batting 2 for 4. Nick Fiorni led the team with 4 RBIs. Paul Kivich picked 3 innings and allowed 0 runs while striking out 6 batters. The team is back in action tomorrow when they travel to Lycoming to take on the Warriors in a doubleheader. It was a successful trip for softball as well, coming away with 5 wins and 3 losses. They ended the run with a close loss to Clark University, falling 7-8. The Jays took a 5-2 lead but allowed 6 runs in the 6th inning and couldn't complete the comeback. Hannah Long and Lily Baldwin each had 3 hits, while Brooke Huxco led the team with 4 RBIs. Lauren Leshak pitched for 5 innings, allowing 10 hits and 7 runs in the loss. The Jays are back on the field today for a doubleheader against Newman. The indoor track season concluded at the AARTFC Indoor Championships. Multiple Blue Jays ran personal bests and broke previous standing records. Kaylee Bold broke the indoor school record in the 200-meter with a time of 25.777. Will Inglis placed 6th in the 800-meter race, coming through at 1 minute and 54 seconds. Another 6th-place finisher was Isabella Cowger, who threw 12.96 meters. The team will transition into the outdoor season, which begins on March 28th. The men's lacrosse team fell to 1-5 following a 10-17 loss to Franklin and Marshall. Despite scoring 5 first-quarter goals, the Blue Jays faced a heavy offensive attack by the Diplomats they couldn't withstand. Tristan Coleman and Reese Levinson each had 3 goals, followed by Casey Laney with 2. Ben Zates had 16 saves in goal. They'll try and get back on track next Wednesday against York College. The women's team had a better start to the season but suffered their first loss last Saturday. They dropped to McDaniel 7-15, being outscored in each quarter. Haley Myers scored 3 goals in the day, while her sister Megan had 1. Ella Scholes added 2 more for Etown. The Blue Jays struggled to get it going on offense, only getting 18 shots on goal compared to McDaniel's 42. You can catch the team back in action tomorrow when they take on Lebanon Valley at noon. The NFL free agency period began on Monday and has seen some big names emerge on new teams. The top quarterback on the market was Malik Willis, who spent the last 2 seasons backing up Jordan Love on the Packers. He signed with the Miami Dolphins on a 3-year contract. The Ravens lost their center Tyler Lindenbaum to the Raiders and almost traded for another big player. The 2 teams agreed to send Max Crosby to Baltimore, but after failing his physical, the deal fell through. Some other top free agents on new teams are Kenneth Walker, Mike Evans, Isaiah Likely, and Travis Etienne. History was just made in the NBA in one of the most surprising games ever. Bam Adebayo scored 83 points in a game last week, which is now the second most of all time. The Miami Heat center passed Kobe Bryant, who was in second with 81 points. It came against the Washington Wizards, who have struggled defensively all year. Adebayo has averaged less than 20 points a game this season, which made this performance such a shock. He'll hope to carry this momentum in the postseason and lead Miami back to the championship. That's all for sports. Now over to Eric Rodriguez Jr. with your weekly weather watch.
Thanks, Ava. Spring is almost here, but we haven't seen the last of the chilly weather. Expect cool highs in the 30s and 40s for most of the week. Today, Friday the 13th, calls for partly cloudy weather with a high of 47 and a low of 39. Saturday will be even warmer with a high of 54 and a low of 38. Expect partly cloudy weather once again. You can expect rain in the evening on Sunday with a high of 51 and a low of 39. The rain will continue into Monday with a high of 45 and a chilly low of 28. The rain will finally stop on Tuesday and Wednesday, but temperatures will drop even more with respective highs of 37 and 36 and lows of 23 and 24. And finally, Thursday calls for partly cloudy weather with a high of 41 and a low of 29. That's all for this week's Weather Watch. I'm Eric Rodriguez Jr. Now back to Rosina and Aaron in the studio.
Parts of the Midwest are in shambles after powerful tornadoes swept the area late last week. Powerful storms ripped through parts of southern Michigan and eastern Oklahoma last Friday, leaving 6 people dead and dozens more injured. The storms downed trees and powerful lines, leaving thousands without power. Weather Prediction Center meteorologist David Roth says tornadoes in Michigan are very rare, but the combination of a weather system created the perfect conditions for a tornado. The war in Iran continues to escalate as the number of airstrikes grows. On Saturday, President Donald Trump issued a social media post warning that more Iranian officials will also be targeted. The president also noted an apology issued by the Iranian president to neighboring nations facing the consequences of Tehran's attacks. 6 U.S. service members were killed in an Iranian airstrike in Kuwait. According to officials, nearly 2,000 civilian casualties have been reported, but the death toll continues to climb. 5 Georgia teens are facing charges after killing their teacher in a prank gone wrong. Jason Hughes, a 40-year-old high school teacher, was run over by his student Jaden Ryan Wallace in the early morning hours last Friday. The students were attempting to toilet paper Hughes' lawn. As the group attempted to leave, Hughes came out of the home and fell onto the road. Wallace has been charged with first-degree vehicular homicide. The 4 other students who took part in the prank face charges of criminal trespassing and littering on private property.
Timothy Salomone is receiving backlash following recent comments. In an interview with Variety, the actor said he doesn't want to work in opera or ballet because no one cares about them anymore. This upset many individuals and organizations within the performing arts community, as well as many online. Saturday Night Live even mocked the remarks during their Weekend Update segment. This comes as Salomone has been heavily campaigning for the Best Oscar for his work in Marty Supreme. However, his odds of winning have now decreased since these comments were made, with Michael B. Jordan surpassing him as the favorite. Zendaya and Tom Holland are believed to have officially gotten married. According to Zendaya's stylist, the couple recently tied the knot at a secret wedding. They met in 2017 while filming Spider-Man: Homecoming, but didn't confirm they were dating until 2021. Most of their relationship has been kept out of the public eye, but Holland revealed they were engaged last September. The rumors gained traction after Zendaya was spotted wearing a new wedding band. popular daytime talk show has been renewed for 2 more seasons. The Drew Barrymore Show is returning to CBS and Paramount Plus for its 7th and 8th seasons. The program is hosted by Barrymore and features various celebrity guests and interviews. She shared the good news on Instagram, saying she is deeply proud of every single person who pours their hearts into the show. This comes just a couple months after Barrymore won an Emmy for Outstanding Daytime Talk Show Host. That's all for this week, Jays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at ECTV40 for all the latest updates on our shows. I'm Aaron J. Girvan.
And I'm Rosina Campana. Have a great week, and remember to
Take flight, E-Town.